archival release project that you've talked about starting up?
We're trying to create a list. I think the most difficult thing is we've got tons of stuff that can be released, but it's creating a consistent flow chart in terms of preparing a release, getting it prepared, how it's going to be marketed, trying to figure out a business infrastructure that rewards the fans and doesn't sort of put them in this weird position every time you roll something out. I know that's a little bit, I'm not trying to be obtuse. It's more like, so say for example, I want to put out a show from 1989. That's not, I think it's a great show, but it's not, it's recorded in the back room with microphones. It's not professional sound. Probably doesn't belong on a streaming service, but a fan such as yourself might want to buy it. I've got to figure out a way to prepare those materials, announce that I want to put them out. Then I have to be able to offer it to you and say, look, here's some snippets of the songs. Here's the set list. Here's the historical aspect of the show. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would grade it a 6. So I don't want anybody sort of think it's going to sound, it's professional in the sense that we're going to make the best of it. It's not professionally recorded. And then give you an opportunity, like say, okay, you have 2 weeks by which to order. And if you order in this window, you're guaranteed a copy. But if you don't order in this 2 weeks, then you can't be guaranteed a copy. And then secondarily, if you do order, you're still going to have to probably wait, a period of time before you'd have to be cool with that. So you'd have to be like, okay, I want to pre-order. I definitely want to get a copy. I understand it's not a retail thing. It's direct to consumer. And at the same point, I'm also cool with waiting 5 months to get my pressing. Stuff like that. It gets outside the realm of normal business, which is prove it to me and maybe I'll buy it. This is a different relationship. It's like, can we create a consistent relationship where you feel rewarded for your patience and we're rewarded in return to get the materials out of the archive so they're not just sitting there and rotting.
Right. Yeah. There's got to be just an incredible amount of stuff. Like that sounds like such a long-term project to do.
Ideally, I would love to get into a rhythm where we're releasing 4 to 6 releases a year, which might sound like a lot or might not sound like too little, but every release needs a certain level of focus.
Right.
Can't come to you too many times a year and say, okay, here's another thing that's going to cost, $65 plus shipping and handling. You have to kind of balance these things out. Right. And at the same point, we also have to be respectful of the different periods of music. And you can't build a business that sort of rewards the super hardcore people and then try to put together something like, say, the Zwan box set, which would have 120 songs in it and then only sell 500 copies. It's like you have to be able to oscillate between bigger and smaller projects. And there are a lot of costs associated with the preparation of the materials. It's not like, like people have this romantic idea, like just throw it on the net. It's like, if you're going to ask for people's money and you're not going to put your best foot forward, even if they're archival materials and they might have different levels of quality, I think it's incumbent upon us to make a good faith offering to you to say, look, we've really taken pains to make sure this is the best we have, and that's the sort of relationship you have to build, and that's the difference between that and say just a bootleg.
Right.